Money feels permanent. Your paycheck clears, your savings sit quietly in a bank, prices rise slowly, then suddenly. And because it happens gradually, most people never question it. But history tells a very different story. Money doesn't last forever. Not gold coins, not paper notes, not digital balances on a screen. Every currency that has ever existed has died. Not because of war, not because of invasion, but because it followed a pattern. And once you see that pattern, you can't unsee it. Because the most dangerous thing about money dying is that it always feels normal right up until the end. Money is not value. Money is trust. It's a shared belief that this thing, paper, metal, or numbers on a screen, will still buy real goods and real labor tomorrow. The moment that belief weakens, money starts to rot. Not instantly, not dramatically, quietly. And throughout history, whenever societies forget this truth, the same cycle begins. Different centuries, different governments, different technologies, same outcome. Every dying currency passes through the same stages. The first stage is always honest. Money begins as something limited and difficult to manipulate. Early currencies are tied to reality, metal, land, labor, or production. People trust money because it's hard to create and hard to abuse. At this stage, money feels solid, predictable, reliable. But stability creates confidence, and confidence leads to expansion. As economies grow, so do promises. Governments spend more. Wars get larger. Public programs expand. Bureaucracies multiply. But raising taxes is unpopular. So instead of asking citizens to pay today, leaders borrow from tomorrow. Debt quietly replaces discipline. At first, it feels harmless. After all, growth will pay it back. It always does. Right? This is where the shift happens. Debt stops being temporary and becomes permanent. New money is no longer created from production. It's created from promises. Loans create currency. Interest demands growth. Growth becomes mandatory. The system can no longer slow down, because if it does, it collapses. So instead of fixing the problem, money is created to delay it. This is the moment the system becomes addicted. Debt is no longer a tool. It becomes the foundation. Then comes inflation. Inflation is not an accident. It is not a mystery. And it is not temporary. Inflation is a tool. A way to quietly move value from savers to borrowers, from workers to the system, from the future into the present. Prices rise, but the explanations soften it. Supply issues, external shocks, unexpected events. But inflation is simple. Too much money chasing too few real things. Because it happens slowly, people adapt instead of resisting. This is the most dangerous stage. Because trust hasn't collapsed yet. It's eroding. Savings lose meaning, planning becomes harder, stability feels artificial. But life goes on. And that's why most people miss what comes next. Every currency dies the same way. Not when inflation starts, not when debt explodes, but when trust finally breaks. When people stop believing money will hold value. When saving feels pointless. When prices feel fake. When money feels unstable. At that point, people don't hold money, they rush away from it. Spending accelerates, conversions increase. Anything real feels safer than currency. And once trust breaks, no law can restore it. Money doesn't need to disappear to die. It just needs to be rejected. This isn't theory. It has happened again and again. Ancient empires diluted their coins until metal content vanished. Modern states printed until purchasing power collapsed. Different tools, same logic. Every time, leaders insisted this time was different. It never was. The names change. The systems evolve. The pattern remains. So why does this keep happening? Because humans are wired for short-term comfort, not long-term truth. As long as paychecks arrive, stores stay stocked, and systems appear functional, most people assume the foundation is strong. But money collapses backward. First confidence fades, then savings erode, then systems strain. Only then does society feel it. By the time panic appears, the damage is already done. History doesn't repeat loudly, it repeats quietly. This isn't about panic, it's about awareness. Because once you understand that money is a system built on trust, you start asking better questions. And when people stop asking questions, that's when money starts to die. Slowly, silently, then all at once. If this made you see money differently, if you've ever felt that something about the system doesn't quite add up, then this channel is for you. Because every video here breaks down the hidden patterns behind money, power, and collapse, without hype and without noise. Subscribe, not out of fear, but because understanding history is the only way to see what's coming next.